Every day, millions step into the shower and miss it. They wash their face, brush their teeth, rinse their skin, and walk away believing they've done enough. But there's a part of the body almost no one talks about. A part that quietly collects bacteria, harbors inflammation, and, over time, chips away at your health, your balance, even your memory. It's not hidden deep inside. It's right there. Ordinary. Unnoticed. And when left uncleaned, it can become the silent start of problems you never saw coming. What if a 2-minute ritual could lower your risk of infection, sharpen your senses, and give you back the energy aging tries to steal? Because once you know what these 5 overlooked places are and what happens when you finally care for them, you'll never step into the shower the same way again. Stick with this until the last one. The 5th will surprise you. And it might just change your life. 1. Washing overlooked body parts daily can strengthen your immune system, protect against disease, and add vital years to your life. For many people, hygiene is just a routine, something you do quickly, almost without thinking. However, as a specialist in aging and preventive care, I can tell you with certainty, the way we clean our bodies, especially the parts we often overlook, can have a profound impact on our long-term health. This isn't about looking good. It's about living longer, with strength and dignity. And it's backed by science. Daily cleansing of these areas, using warm water and a soft cloth or brush, does more than remove dirt. It promotes lymphatic drainage, enhances microcirculation, and helps regulate your immune system. Studies show that intentional, localized hygiene can lower systemic inflammation markers and boost energy. It's one of the simplest, most powerful habits to prevent health decline as we age. However, the effects extend beyond physical health. There's an emotional truth here. Many seniors feel disconnected from their bodies, not just in terms of function, but also in terms of meaning. Washing these areas with intention becomes an act of self-recognition. A quiet message from you to you. I still care. I still count. I've seen this simple practice restore not only vitality but also joy, confidence, and a renewed sense of purpose. Suppose you're looking for a small yet meaningful way to support your immune system and extend your healthy years. Start here. These 5 areas are your body's way of asking to be seen, nurtured, and remembered. And when you respond, your body does not forget, it responds in kind, day by day, breath by breath. 2. Daily scalp cleansing stimulates brain function, circulation, and emotional well-being in aging adults. Science has long demonstrated that the scalp has a profound connection with the central nervous system. When gently cleansed and massaged, circulation improves not only in the scalp but also across the face and toward the brain. This increase in oxygen and nutrient delivery supports sharper mental function, reduced stress, and even better sleep regulation. In older adults, where clarity and calm can be fleeting, these moments of stimulation are particularly significant. They are not cosmetic, they are cognitive. The act itself requires no more than 2 to 3 minutes. Warm water, light pressure from the fingertips, perhaps a soft cloth to help loosen oil, dead skin, and buildup that would otherwise clog follicles and dull sensitivity. But this motion does more than cleanse. It awakens. It restores a sense of aliveness where there has been neglect. Many have described what follows as a subtle shift. Not dramatic. Just a slight lifting of heaviness. A quieter mind. A steadier presence. Those who once rushed through showers now pause with intention, sensing how these few minutes create a ripple that extends into their thinking, breathing, and mood. But when given daily care, this part of the body becomes more than skin, and roots it becomes a reminder. Even at 70 or 80, renewal is always possible. That beneath every silver strand remains a living system, waiting to respond. Cleansing the scalp daily is not merely a matter of cleanliness. It is a gesture of respect. A quiet medicine. A signal to the brain and body, you are still here and still worthy of care. 3. Daily care behind the knees boosts lymphatic flow, reduces inflammation, and restores ease of movement. Behind the knees rests a fold of skin most people rarely notice until discomfort arrives. Yet beneath that quiet curve lies a dense concentration of lymphatic vessels, connective tissue, and fluid pathways that, if left unattended, can become gateways to inflammation and stagnation. Especially in older adults, where circulation slows and mobility becomes more delicate, this area deserves daily care not for beauty, but for health, freedom, and longevity. Studies in geriatric medicine have shown that impaired lymphatic drainage correlates with joint stiffness, swelling in the lower extremities, and higher systemic inflammation levels, factors closely linked to cardiovascular disease, reduced mobility, and chronic fatigue. What appears to be minor swelling behind the knees may reflect deeper issues of imbalance throughout the body. But there's good news: this process is not irreversible. This small act mimics elements of manual lymphatic drainage, a technique widely respected in physical therapy and integrative medicine. Over time, tension begins to ease. The legs feel lighter. Walking becomes smoother. Stiffness gives way to relief, and swelling recedes like a tide that no longer lingers. Yet beyond the science lies something more profound. This hidden area represents more than function. It's a metaphor for the quiet places in life that carry weight without complaint. The backs of the knees bend, hold, and lift through decades of steps taken and burdens borne. To care for them now is to whisper thanks to the body for its faithful service, and to say, "You may rest, you may renew gently." So let the routine be unhurried. Let water meet the skin with intention. In each soft gesture behind the knees, healing flows discreet, profound, and lasting. And in that flow, the body remembers how to move freely again, with grace not only of movement, but of being. 4. Daily ear care awakens the senses, deepens connection, and guards against preventable hearing loss. There is a sacred gateway to the world that often goes unrecognized: the skin around the outer ear. In older adults, this unnoticed barrier can lead to diminished hearing, frustrating conversations, and even a creeping sense of isolation. Medical reports affirm that earwax buildup is one of the most common reversible causes of hearing loss in aging individuals. When the world becomes muted, emotion follows, laughter dims, voices soften, and presence fades. Yet renewal lies in simple, caring gestures. Each morning, gently warming a soft cloth and cleaning behind the ears, along the folds, and softly near the entrance of the ear canal, never deep inside, clears away debris and opens pathways for sound. Dr. Michael Jones, a renowned otolaryngologist, emphasizes that ears are self-cleaning and that proper hygiene, lifestyle choices, and appropriate medical consultations are key to long-term ear health. This gentle habit also minimizes the risk of infection and eases discomfort for individuals who wear hearing aids. But what truly makes this habit powerful is its emotional effect. Each tender swipe is a message from the body. You matter. Your hearing matters. Sounds begin to return with sharper clarity: the laughter of grandchildren, the rustle of autumn leaves, the inflections in a friend's greeting. In this restored clarity lies reconnect ion not only with others, but with the moment itself. And there's dignity in that. Each morning, this ritual becomes a bridge between silence and sound, between separation and belonging, between fading and vivid. So take the time. Clean with care. Open the gateway once more. In that mindful act, discover that aging is not about retreat, it is about choosing to listen with your whole heart, every day. 5. Gentle belly button hygiene supports skin health, prevents hidden infections, and restores personal awareness. At the center of the abdomen lies a small hollow often forgotten in daily care: the belly button. Over the years, it is common for adults, especially those with reduced mobility or visual acuity, to neglect this area, assuming it needs little attention. Yet beneath that assumption lies a subtle but essential truth. The navel, if left uncleaned, can become a reservoir for fungal growth, skin irritation, and low-grade infections that drain comfort, confidence, and energy. Research in dermatology and geriatric hygiene has shown that the belly button is particularly susceptible to bacterial imbalance when exposed to constant moisture, dead skin cells, and lint from clothing. Infections here are rarely sudden; they build slowly, masked by discomfort too minor to raise concern until swelling, redness, or odor appear. And because this area is close to internal organs and often covered, infections that begin externally can spread and become deeper before they are detected. 4 deeper nails, slightly leaning forward, can help water flow out naturally after rinsing. Drying is just as important as washing. Lingering moisture creates the perfect breeding ground for harmful microbes. But there is more than hygiene at play here. The navel is the body's first connection to life, once a channel of nourishment between mother and child. To care for it now, in the later chapters of life, is to return to that original point with reverence. It is a way of saying, this body, which has carried so much through time, still deserves gentle attention. What was once neglected becomes a point of mindfulness, of dignity, of completeness. The body feels more whole, more seen, more respected. So let the final touch of each bath or shower be a gesture toward the center. Let it be slow. Let it be kind. In that small circle lies a quiet symbol of life's beginning and, perhaps, a renewed sense of self continuing forward. 6. Fingertips carry a lifetime of stories, and daily care keeps them alive, agile, and protected. They've traced wedding rings onto skin, held trembling newborns, stirred soups on Sunday afternoons, planted flowers in spring soil, and written countless words now tucked away in letters or journals. The fingertips, so small, so often unnoticed, have lived 1,000 moments. And yet, in daily care, they are frequently skipped over as if their time of usefulness has passed. But nothing could be further from the truth. In the later years of life, these very fingertips become both more vulnerable and more valuable. Simple, thorough hand hygiene remains one of the most effective tools for warding off illness, not just from viruses or bacteria, but from the creeping inflammation that can follow. But this isn't just about washing hands. It's about touching life with care. Each morning or evening, spending just 1 mindful minute gently cleaning around the nails, between the fingers, and across each fingertip can reduce buildup, maintain skin health, and restore mobility. There is something sacred about caring for the hands that have given so much. When water flows over each fingertip, it becomes more than hygiene, it becomes a reflection. These hands have worked, comforted, prayed, held grief and joy in equal measure. They've never asked for thanks. But now, they deserve it. So let the gesture be slow. Let each finger be washed not with urgency, but with reverence. Let the act restore more than cleanliness, let it restore memory, movement, and meaning. For in each fingertip lives the imprint of a life well lived and the promise that even now, there is more to feel, more to touch, and more to give. 7. Turning daily hygiene into a gentle ritual of self-respect, presence, and graceful aging. There comes a tender shift in life, a moment when the body, once taken for granted, begins to speak more softly yet more urgently. Not through pain alone, but through sensation, a tightening in the knees, a dryness in the skin, a quiet ache that wasn't there before. And it is in this chapter, often between the ages of 50 and 80, when caring for the body becomes something more profound than routine. It becomes a return to oneself. But that's the language of habit. The body, after 6 or 7 decades of service, doesn't ask for habit, it longs for presence. It longs to be remembered, not only in what it does, but in what it has carried. The overlooked places behind the knees, inside the navel, around the ears, across the fingertips, these are not just folds of skin. They are living records. They hold the weight of labor, the warmth of touch, the passage of time. Science now affirms what generations have long felt. Small, deliberate acts of care have a greater influence than mere cleanliness. They lower stress hormones. They steady the heart. Each day, even 5 minutes spent tending to the quiet parts of the body can become a ritual, an unspoken vow. I am still here. I am still whole. A soft cloth becomes a tool of remembrance. The warm water becomes a kind of prayer. And the hands, in their slow, deliberate movements, begin not just to clean, but to honor. This isn't about youth. It's about dignity. Not about avoiding age, but meeting it with open eyes and steady hands. So let the daily routine become a return to the body, to the breath, to the story that continues to unfold. Because in every act of care, no matter how small, the message is clear. You are still becoming. You are still worthy. And you are still beautifully, unmistakably alive. So here's what it all comes down to. Health isn't always about dramatic changes or expensive treatments. Sometimes, it begins with the places we forget, the quiet corners of the body we pass over each day without thought. They are invitations to reconnect with the body, to slow down, and to care deeply for the vessel that has carried us through a lifetime of moments. By paying attention to these areas and making their care a simple daily ritual, you're doing more than just staying clean. You're strengthening your immune system, protecting your independence, and restoring dignity to every part of yourself. The body remembers care, and it returns the favor in energy, clarity, and resilience. If you found something meaningful in this message, remember to subscribe to our channel. We share stories, science, and simple lessons to help you live not just longer, but stronger. Drop a comment, tell us which part surprised you most. Your voice matters here. And don't miss our other videos, where more surprising truths and quiet wisdom await. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us today. We are honored to be part of your journey. May your day be full of strength, peace, and the care you truly deserve.